Comanche out here today on 35s. Should be interesting to see what this thing's got. He should, you can. Got it. Look at that!
Yep, we got a list traction out back, but we'll see what happens on this side. Should I keep going? I mean, I'm almost there. Yeah, you got a little more. Hold on, I'll do a photo. Oh, long run, Adam. Nice. That's impressive.
Jeep Comanche is the very first vehicle that has successfully made it all the way over, up and over Big Daddy right there. Way to go, MJ for the win.
Thanks so much, man, for coming out here. It's been awesome watching, I guess, an antique roll around, right? But it's far from its original status. But I mean, you've done a lot of impressive things to this thing. It's been awesome watching you, I guess we could say, outwheel some $60,000 rigs today. I'm gonna say that loosely, but it's been impressive, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how long you've been wheeling.
My brother and I started wheeling about 2016, right at the end of us being in high school. Started out, he just had a stock XJ, I had a stock YJ, and we would just like splash through mud puddles, and we just started, we didn't even like know anything about vehicles. We just started kind of just looking into them and building up from there. And yeah, originally from Connecticut, and a lot of the stuff there is a little bit more rocky and things like that, so I've been building my Jeeps for that, even if it's not as prevalent out here, but I like to think that I can do just about anything.
Right on. So you guys have quite a bit of experience. There's a couple of questions that come to my mind from that. So from XJ to MJ, so like from a Cherokee to a Comanche, you know, why the shift?
I don't know, I just, ever since like the start of high school, I loved Comanches. I loved the way they look. Honestly, that's pretty much it. It's like, oh, you know, one of those Comanches, I want one of those. And that was pretty much my only reason for choosing a Comanche over a Cherokee. You know, especially with parts being harder to find for like the back half of the Comanche, didn't really stop me. I just want to ride what I ride, you know?
Sure. So tell me a little bit more about that. So for our viewers that don't really understand maybe the difference between the XJ and MJ, just the 10-second overview on that difference.
Pretty much everything from the B-pillar forward is XJ.
Okay.
And then everything back is mainly Comanche. So you even have your unibody that stops there, boxes in once you get to the bed of the truck and becomes more of a frame. First of its kind, as far as I know, in the automotive world, to switch from unibody to frame, as far as that's concerned. Yeah, but I mean, everything from the back is strictly Comanche, everything from the front is XJ or MJ, however you want to do it.
Sure. So tell me, you know, you got quite a few extensive modifications. Kind of give me a walkthrough on some of the major ones.
So the big things are, I did spring over axle in the front, or in the rear. I even reused the stock brackets, flipped them upside down and switched them around so that way I can use my stock shocks for now. Welded the rear. That has done wonders for me. It's a Dana 35, but it's holding up so far.
And what size tires are you running?
35s.
Okay.
And then in the front, I just did a lunchbox locker. It's still even on, those are like rough country fixed lower control arms. And I have stock upper control arms. I've just been, you know, throwing on what I can. I got a few more things to do to it. But yeah, I mean, the whole theme of the build has more been just budget build, you know.
Sure.
I'm trying to spend as little as possible on it because I know I'm just going to break stuff. So.
Yeah. What size lift would you say that you have right now?
It's like 7 in the back, maybe 5.5 or 6 in the front.
Okay.
So it does have a little rake to it, but I don't mind it because I still use it for farm stuff and whatever. So it levels out when I have stuff in the back. So
I got you. And you mentioned budget. Can you give me an overall idea of maybe what you have into?
I bought the Jeep for
mods?
like $800, and it was a 4-cylinder, 4-speed, 2-wheel drive. Between the doubler kit and the 4-wheel drive swap, 5-speed swap, all the lift stuff and everything, I'm probably in, I don't know, only like $2,500, $2,600.
Wow.
I've spent very little money on this Jeep.
And obviously you've been turning all your own wrenches, right, to be able to stay within that budget?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of my own welding that some of them you're not allowed to see. But yeah.
If you had to do it all over again, man, is there anything you would do differently?
Honestly, not really, because I'm just going with the flow, doing my thing. I mean, I don't have an end goal for this. I never really had a start goal for it, so it's just doing what I feel like I want to do.
Sure, I totally can understand that. I call my Jeep perpetual because it's a project that doesn't seemingly have an end, so I respect and appreciate that a lot. So I was saying earlier on in the video, man, that your rig has been conquering everything out here. I think that's the right adjective to use. Even the obstacle that we call Big Daddy, which is that big tire, is more like an articulation ramp. I mean, you were up and over that thing both backwards and forward. You know, that's got to make you feel good, right? Compared to all these other rigs out here.
Especially when you're turning your own wrenches and, you know, you're on a budget and you're just, you know, when you put in all the hard work and you see it pay off, it's the greatest feeling ever.
That's awesome. And I will say that you're probably the first rig I've seen out here go completely over the tire. So we had somebody else out here go completely over the tire, but you were the first one, right? So I want to get that on record that you're the first person to go up and over Big Daddy with both wheels and tires. So it's really impressive, man. So give some advice to the viewers on some guys that are maybe thinking about coming out here. Maybe they have an XJ, maybe they have a Comanche. What size lift should they be running? What size tires? What should they do with their axles? Kind of some minimum recommendations.
I'd say just come out over here with what you have, because we've seen a bunch of more or less stock vehicles out here doing everything and having fun with whatever rig you have. When this was stock, when it was on 31s, it was a blast to drive, and you could still come out here and have fun no matter what rig you have, I think.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Is there anything else you want to tell us about your rig that we might have missed?
I just want to repeat myself, that doubler swap, I took a second transfer case, put it in front of my first transfer case, and that has been the coolest thing ever.
For sure.
And that was all.
I got that on video, but Jacob, if you want to point that out to Brittany on where that is, and it's called a divorce transfer case, right? In case anybody wants to look it up. Is it divorced, like you're running a drive shaft in between the two?
No, it's mated all together.
Okay, yeah. If you could point that out to her so the viewers can see, because that's actually pretty impressive. And
excuse the RTV, but that's the backing plate of the first transfer case, and it bolts onto this. I'm still dealing with a few leaks and things like that, and I'm trying to figure out a better shift method, but I have my 2 shifters in here. This is for the first case, so I have my high and low for 2-wheel drive, and then when I put this down, it gives me 4 low and then 4 double low. So when I have both these pushed down, which I had going over the tire and going over a lot of this stuff, it's 102-to-1 crawl ratio, and with a 4-cylinder, you need that. And it was my first time really using it since I put it in. I really finished it like 2 days ago. And I have so much more control. I have so much control. I can just sit there and let it idle and just give it gas when I need, and it goes over anything now.
Well, it really shows, man. And are those MP231s you're running?
Yeah.
Okay.
21 spline in the front, 23 spline in the rear, because it's a 4-cylinder. I swapped over to the 23 in the rear. If I ever did any sort of transmission swap, motor swap, or anything like that, the little planetary set that's in there, I could just swap that out for a 23 spline. I don't have to change a thing else.
That's amazing. Well, you'll have to teach me the math on that 100-to-1 off camera. for sure. But it's been impressive, man. It's easy to see all the modifications you've done to your rig. It really showed today. I really appreciate you bringing it out and giving us the opportunity to film it. So, yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
And before we go completely, I just want to let everybody know at home that, you know, if you guys like to have the opportunity to come out here to wheel with guys like Jacob and, you know, see what you can do with compared to a rig like this, make sure you head over to W2Wparks.com. That's W, the number 2, and WParks.com. Sign up for a monthly subscription at name your own price and get the opportunity to be invited out here. And make sure you like this video, share this video, and comment if you guys choose. That really helps us out. And we're working to bring a park to Hampton Roads, so every little bit helps. Thank you, guys.
Comanche's going to take on this little one. We had someone get high centered on this already earlier. It should be no problem for this MJ. Beautiful. Alright, we're gonna try backing over Big Daddy.
I'm gonna mix it, aren't I? You gotta go, yeah.
This should be interesting.
But you got to get that tire on the tire. Your leaf spring shackle's on the tread right now.
Okay.